The stench reached the visiting ambassadors before they even stepped inside the throne room. Imagine the smell of a corpse left in the summer sun for a week, then steeped in a broth of rotten eggs and sewage. That was King James I of England on a good day. No one had died. That's just how he smelled. This is the same man who authorized the Bible millions still read, yet he hadn't bathed in years. His tongue was so oversized he drooled constantly. His garments were a writhing ecosystem of lice, visible as they hopped around like tiny circus performers. And here's the scary part, he wasn't even the weirdest monarch I'm about to tell you about. See, when you hand someone absolute power, a glittering throne, and a court full of sycophants whose job is to tell them they're brilliant, you don't get wise philosopher kings. You get history's most eccentric, deranged lunatics. I'm talking about kings convinced they were made of glass. Queens who gorged themselves into geometric shapes requiring custom coffins. Emperors who thought their horses should be senators. And yes, that last one isn't even a metaphor. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through a carnival of royal absurdity, the 11 rulers whose behavior was so bizarre it makes today's celebrities look boring. And trust me, after you hear about the king who literally died laughing at a dear joke, your weird coworker won't seem so bad. Let's start with number 11, Charles VI of France, one of the milder cases on this list. Let's start with number 11, Charles VI of France, one of the milder cases on this list. 11. Charles VI of France, the Glass King. Charles suffered from glass delusions. He genuinely believed he was made entirely of glass and could shatter at the slightest touch. To protect himself, he had iron rods sewn into his clothes, moved with exaggerated caution, and refused physical contact. Sometimes, he forgot he was even king. His staff had to remind him, "Your Majesty, you have a council meeting." His answer? Why? Because you're the king, Charles. Oh, right. Glass delusions were surprisingly common in the Middle Ages, the 15th century equivalent of thinking you're allergic to Wi-Fi. 10. Peter III of Russia, the doll emperor. Next, Peter III, an emperor who still played with dolls, and not in secret. He staged elaborate scenarios, gave them voices, and roped his wife, the future Catherine the Great, into playing along until 2 or 3 in the morning. Imagine being one of history's most powerful women and your husband's ordering you to make cavalry charge noises for toy soldiers. Peter also adored Prussia to the point of absurdity, dressing in their uniform, speaking German, and even holding a military trial for a rat that had chewed his toy soldiers. The rat was pardoned for its Prussian discipline. Officially, Peter died from hemorrhoidal colic, extreme pain in the, well, you know. Unofficially, Catherine might have had enough of the doll games. 9. Farouk of Egypt, the pickpocket king. King Farouk was a kleptomaniac with unlimited money. He owned palaces, over 1,000 tailored suits, and still picked pockets for sport. Winston Churchill once left a meeting missing his watch. Farouk had stolen it. At banquets, guests often left without their wallets or jewelry. He also hoarded red cars and banned anyone else in Egypt from owning one. If he saw one, he confiscated it. Once, he shot the tires of a red car trying to pass his convoy, only to discover it belonged to a diplomat. Farouk collected the world's largest stash of pornography, for educational purposes, he claimed, needed reinforced furniture for his weight, and ordered entire menus at restaurants. Still hungry afterward. 8. Martin of Aragon, death by laughter. In 1410, King Martin polished off an entire goose, then his jester cracked a joke about a deer hanging upside down for stealing figs. Not funny, but Martin thought it was hysterical. He laughed uncontrollably for 3 straight hours, collapsed, and died. The jester's resume afterward probably read, "Entertained royalty to death." 7. Christian VII of Denmark, the slapping king. Christian VII's reign was pure chaos. He compulsively entertained himself, so much his doctors prescribed a special chair to prevent injury. He slapped people randomly, even foreign dignitaries. At state dinners. At peace talks. At his own wedding. He smashed palace furniture at night, played leapfrog with ambassadors, and once made his dog a government minister. Meetings included questions like, "Minister Fluffy, thoughts on the new tax policy?" Woof. Excellent. 6. Caligula of Rome, the horse politician. Caligula gave his horse, Incitatus, a marble stable, jeweled collar, and invited it to dinner as a guest. He was reportedly planning to make it consul of Rome. He also declared himself a god, cross-dressed as various deities, demanded temples in his honor, and built a floating bridge just so he could ride a horse across the Bay of Naples in Alexander the Great's stolen armor. 5. Ludwig II of Bavaria, Dinner with Ghost. Ludwig, the Swan King, built fairy tale castles and lived in them as if he were the protagonist. He hosted elaborate midnight dinners for dead monarchs, complete with place settings, toasts, and servants refilling ghostly wine glasses. 4. Ibrahim the Mad, Drowning the Harem. After 22 years locked in the Ottoman cage for princes, Ibrahim emerged obsessed with furs and plus-sized women. He promoted a 330-pound woman nicknamed Sugar Cube to governor. Then, in a fit of paranoia, he had all 280 of his concubines sewn into sacks and drowned in the Bosphorus, one of the most brutal single nights in royal history. 3. Qin Shi Huang, the Mercury Emperor. China's first emperor feared death so much he swallowed mercury pills, bathed in mercury, and lined his tomb with mercury rivers, all while wondering why he felt sick. His paranoia reached cartoon levels: secret tunnels between 270 palaces, decoy carriages, executions for revealing his location, and burning nearly all books that predated him. Scholars who protested were buried alive. 2. Adolf Fredrik of Sweden, Death by Cream Buns. In 1771, Adolf Fredrik ate a meal so excessive it killed him: lobster, caviar, sauerkraut, herring, champagne, and 14 cream buns for dessert. His official cause of death? Indigestion. 1. Henry VIII of England, Walking Biohazard. By his final years, Henry VIII weighed around 400 pounds and had a festering, pus-draining leg wound from a jousting accident. The smell could be detected rooms away. He needed hoists to mount horses, custom-wide doorways, and reinforced floors. When he died, his coffin burst from decomposition gases, and dogs were found licking the leaked remains. The man who reshaped England's religion ended up as a royal buffet for strays. From glass kings to doll emperors, from horse senators to cream bun deaths, these rulers prove that absolute power doesn't just corrupt, it melts the brain. And maybe, just maybe, Caligula's horse would still be a better politician than some we have today.